Hey people, Intro here, 3v3, Typhon Maya, blue team. We have some guard, Swagga Gitzsmakka as a Lord Commissar. Strong offense and support, fighting in melee begins with a refractor shield, can shoot his own fellas in the head for courage and stuff. Alongside Xrod, or maybe it's Xrod, with an Inquisitor, offensive hero with powerful control abilities, begins in melee but can get specialized ranged weapons. This is the Armageddon Steel Legion elite scheme. Rounding off the blue team is Grapist as a Farseer support hero, fighting in melee, some powerful buffs and control abilities. Red team, you have a very confused brother captain, Gardacus. Durable hero, walking through objects and cannot be suppressed with powerful offense and support, fighting in melee, alongside some chaos fellas. KGolanski as a plague champion starts off with a damage over time bolt gun, can get melee weapons, some strong utility and support, can also repair. Gonna take some flanking lasgun shots there. And rounding off the teams is max-ove with a chaos sorcerer, offensive and disruptive hero with powerful battlefield manipulation and control. Just consumed a heretic there, I think. Kicking off in the mid, Lord Commissar takes that contested victory point there. Sentinel getting some shots in on some heretics, and a good doom bolts flies in on those guardsmen, killed a few models, did a good chunk of damage as well. CSM weighing in with some bolter fire. Banshees backing off. They may try to go around the flank there to get in behind. Sentinel getting repairs towards the north of the map. Contested power up here, and the strat squad alongside that brother captain are going to bully these guardsmen in melee who just run away. Fair enough. 7.5 foot power armored fellas run out. You're going to back off a bit, I think. Heretics getting very close. Might need to doom blast and run here. Banshees on the prowl. War shouting, which didn't seem to suppress anything for some reason. It looked like they were close enough to those Chaos Space Marines to suppress them, but they did not get suppressed. Sentinel goes down. Awesome little push through there from Golanski, getting a Sentinel down with Heretic melee. I guess it did not have the ground pound. Farseer with a nice special attack. Catachan Devils on the way now for Xrod and for Swagga. Double CSM for max-ove. Frantic fighting start of the game here, still going on. Typically one of the sides that have backed off by now, having been overrun a bit, but they're still kicking. Guardsmen have kept themselves relevant by backing off when they were overwhelmed a bit. Stormtroopers, Inquisitorial Stormtroopers opening up on the Inquisitor there, who's trying to get a decap. Heretics moving up, but they're going to take a bunch of lasgun fire out of cover. And they're so squishy out the gate, 75 hit points per model. Grenade launchers coming in for these guys. Help damage and disrupt the guardsman blobs. Multi-laser turret going up to cover the VP. And there's your Catachan Devils. These are Swaggas, and here are Xrods. Oh, Sorcerer tried to do some decapping, couldn't quite get it done. But the Farseer's gone down. Guardian weapon team here with battle equipment. And Banshees in on the CSM. They take a model back towards the north. Just a power point being bashed. Trying to get that node down. Havocs on the field for Golanski. They've got double heretics as well, with grenade launchers and with the aspiring champion. These are the guys that took down that Sentinel. Interceptors on the way for Gardacus. And more Catachans for Swagga. I feel like it's been a while since I've seen double Catachan Devils up. Oh boy. Banshees found some Havocs. Got around their firing arc and almost wiped them. Here's that brother captain. Strike squad alongside. Don't have their Tomes of Titan yet. Early power spent on those interceptors. Melee squad that can teleport. Good damage output. And these days, their teleport disrupts immediately, right? That's a massive change for them. Grenade wipes out the heretics. Poor bastards. I think, yeah, those fellas had grenade launchers as well for max-ove. Sorcerer's down and drops the heretics. Not huge investment in those guys, but it was 20 power for the grenade launchers at least. And 75 wreck, so definitely a loss they're going to feel. They have replaced those heretics, which is generally what you want to do. Even if you don't want to get grenade launchers and use them in combat again a lot, having the worship up is pretty big. Looks like we have Holy Brazier for the Inquisitor, power weapon with the Holy Pyre. Blade Champion gets a revive. No, they don't. Catachans say no. Mucus discharge in play. Those CSM are a bit too far forward for my liking. Losing a model. Brother Captain now goes for the revive. Much harder to disrupt that guy. And they get it done. Outrageous amounts of heresy going on. Interceptors getting in there. Some good specials. Catechins counter initiate though. In fact, double Catechins. And there's another squad right here that could get into melee. And Catechins do have power melee weapons. And the interceptors are getting messed up quite a lot here. Are they going to wipe? Able to teleport away. Barely. Brother Captain, I think, is going to go down. Yet Banshee's getting it done. Heretics now coming in. Banshee's doing a great job so far. Picking good fights. Which isn't always easy to do in a 3v3. Often we'll see them kind of shut out by a sheer amount of ranged fire. I think the key is not to lead them into fights. Don't lead fights with your Banshees. They're not very good at that. Especially in a 3v3 when you can maybe wait for your ally to initiate a fight. Wait for battle lines to be drawn a bit and then trying to send those Banshees in. Pick something off. Dark Creepers on the way for Grapist. Farseer still down. Inquisitor down. Rhino on the way for Gardacus. Noise Marines for KGolanski. Tier 2 for Max, Tier 2 for Xrod. And Dark Creepers have hit the field. Heretics barely making it out. 5 hit points, I think. There's some Nurgle worship as they retreat there. Plague Champion gets the Brother Captain up. Who immediately runs, I think. In level 2, the Brother Captain. Plague Champion also well into level 2. Banshee's finding some CSM. Who are trying to decap. I guess they did decap. Oh, and then they die. Banshee's finding some CSM again. Sorcerer has the vestments of the warp. I was going to say maybe this guy needs to get the robes of torment to control those Banshees. Some buildable cover going up, and now a multi-laser turret. This one is still here too. And they do decent DPS, those things. Can't remember the number. Here's the Rhino. Nothing bolted to the back yet. Starts with that Storm Bolter being manned by that very brave Marine just sticking out the top. They are going for the heavy bolter turret on the back for anti-infantry damage. Disrupted Heretics by the Catechins, I imagine. Lord Commissar going for a revive now on the Inquisitor. And they get it. Looks like Stubbornness is up. Sorry, Aura of Discipline is up for the area of effect heal. And that awesome power sword. Blood Crusher on the way for Max, who's a little bit depleted here. So is Swagga. Swagga's down to just double Catechins. Oh, wait. All these guardsmen just got murdered by the Rhino. They must have been very, very distracted, Swagga. Or they just didn't want to keep their guardsmen. They've gone tier 2. With plenty of resources. That was a Manticore strike that almost took out the Rhino there. Strike Squad now have their Justicar. They still don't have their Tomes of Titan though. They champion on the central VP. Noise Marines shaking apart that turret there with a Sonic Blaster. Blood Crusher hitting the field momentarily. Grapist goes tier 3, the Farseer. Catechins trying to get that Rhino down with their Melter Gun, and they get it. And the Havoc's wipe also. Heavy losses for the red team here. Can they get that Commissar down? Brother Captain with a Nemesis Force Sword in on the Catechins now. Popping We Are the Hammer for that area of effect damage there on hit. Splash damage. We've got some Plasma Guardsmen now. They're going to trade quite efficiently with heavy infantry at the moment. Heavy bolter turret in for the Plague Champion. Quite a wide firing arc on this thing. What's the Blood Crusher up to? They are bashing power. Natural power here in the southwest for the Eldar. And these fellas trying to get this node back, which is being built again. And more bashing in the southern contested power. For now, red team with a 2-to-1 cap. Got some VPs to make up the way. Fire Dragons on the way in tier 3 for Grapist. So they haven't gone straight for a tier 3 unit. Tier 3 also for Swagga. Purifiers hit the field for Gardacus. Going quite melee heavy then. We may see Bulwark or something. Or Ward. If they can get the, if they want to replace the Nemesis Force Sword. The upgraded We Are the Hammer is pretty damn good though. Another Manticore strike. Where is the Manticore actually? I was there. They could run the Purifiers after it. Maybe. And here are the Purifiers with their Gitzsmakka already in play. Plague Champion now has the Plague Fist. Can help them the mid. But the Captain goes down. That was a bit sloppy from Gardacus. They're looking elsewhere, I think. There's that Pestilence strike. Stunned the Inquisitor, but then she runs. Plague Champion wants to decap the wreck point, do they? Or are they going after a Manticore? Nope, they're decapping the wreck point. Kicking off in the north. That kind of purging field, psychic field that the Purifiers have. Silencing these Catachans, meaning they can't use their shotguns or their grenade launchers or anything. Pretty effective. Purifiers getting very low though. Interceptor's still in there, but they need to be very careful. Catachan's still in play. They should be in melee there. Might have been able to get another model if they were. Last Master Noise Marines in the mid. Turns them into an artillery unit. And they're shooting trees apart for the Dark Gods. Well, Commissar in it with some heretics. I'm not sure what the aspiring champion is doing there. Couldn't get into combat for some reason. Manticore strike almost wiped those heretics. And blue team are trying to take the mid back. Are they going to disrupt the cat? Maybe they already did. Look how long it took that turret to suppress those guys. That was crazy. Risky fight for the Strat squad. Oh, especially with a knockback there. But they have survived it. Can they wipe the Catachans actually? They can. Kept them in there a bit too long, Swagga. And now Swagga's down to a single Catachan Devil squad. But they're doing well. Somehow, blue team doing quite well with that. Here's your Blood Crusher. Max has got a lot of usage out of this thing. And they're going tier 3. Doing some counter initiation on those very aggressive Catachan Devils. Guardsmen very far forward as well. Here's the Fire Dragons. Trying to get that Blood Crusher down. Couldn't quite manage it. Another Manticore strike. Strikes have been pretty good so far. Inquisitor runs away. Is she going to make it? Nope. Could be tricky to revive her there too. Alrighty, what's going on? Max is hitting tier 3, the only player on their team to do so. Xrod goes tier 3 as well. Swagga with the Baneblade on the way. Northern Power is now blue. Brother Captain's still down there. Should get revived. In fact, that might be what the Plague Champion, or maybe what both of them are doing right now. You can both get XP from a revive if the hero that's revived doesn't move. As long as they both start the reviving animation and they don't move. Okay, looks like the Plague Champion's backing off. Leave that to the Sorcerer who teleported in there. Plague Marines on the way for KGolanski. You can never go wrong with Plague Marines. You don't know what to get. Get Havocs or Plague Marines, I say. 366 to 291. Last Master actually knocked over the Plague Champion there, I think. Oh, they're walking onto mines, actually. That's a decent shot. Interceptor's getting in there too. More mines frustrating the Plague Champion. At least they're eating them all. So that their units don't have to. Gardacus getting very close to going down again. I think they got saved by the Breath of Nurgle. You also have Armor of Pestilence. 342 to 291. Red team retain the central victory point. Blue team need to come out swinging it in tier 3 here. Baneblade hits the field. More guardsmen to support it. That was nasty. Doom bolts into an interceptor teleport. Can they wipe them? They do wipe those guardsmen, and those guys had a Commissar. Catachan's barely making it out. Here's the Baneblade, which they may have spotted now because of those shots that went in. Blood Crusher still going for Max. Takes out a multi-laser turret. Might go for the power again. Because that node is almost down, look. Okay, can they support this Baneblade here? Plague Marines getting a shot on immediately with their snaring missile launcher. Purifiers also have that heavy melee weapon. What else they got? They have the Blood Crusher, and they have Chaos Terminators and more Plague Marines on the way. Those Plague Marines being suppressed by the Baneblade's heavy bolters. Has that Mega Battle Cannon and Las Cannons as well as a Demolisher Cannon that you need to aim manually. Stormlord on the way for Xrod. A Baneblade variant, very effective against infantry specifically. There's a Seer Council for the Farseer too. Chaos Terminators taking huge amounts of damage, but they have survived. Farseer actually got a cap on Red Team's natural VP there. That was quite sneaky of them. Nurgle Shrine is going to be shot down. There it goes. Look how quickly the Baneblade suppressed the Plague Champion there. Lord Commissar in a bad spot, but they do have Fist of Grapist. So they're quite a powerful combatant. Also have Carapace armor. Where are those Seer Council guys? They're looking after their power right now. I see this blue aura from the Seer Council. That's damage resistance to ranged fire. Level 4 Plague Champion is stepping up. Going after the Manticore, I think. Noxious Cloud goes in from the global bar. Uses the Aura of Decay to knock stuff back as well. Doesn't seem like they can chase down the Manticore here. Where's their heal? Was the heal not available? Down they go. Must have been on cooldown or something. What level are you, Inquisitor? Level 2. With the Rosarius up. Meleeing some Plague Marines. That was actually a smart idea to try and draw in some friendly fire from the Noise Marines there. But they ran off anyway. So it's going to be a Baneblade and a Stormlord in the mid. Ogrin's on the way now for Swagga. And they can support them very effectively with Non-Shroud Fall and the Aura of Discipline. Double Plague Marines are up for KGolanski. Kicking off in the south. Blood Crusher still doing work here for max-ove. Which is the same one, right? Not going mad. Up to level 2 now. Chopping through some poor Eldar fellas. Seer Council alongside Banshees is huge amounts of power melee damage that OCSM just cannot deal with. Blood Crusher comes in to help though. Good DPS on this thing. 90 odd heavy melee DPS, I think. Doesn't have splash damage and doesn't have melee resistance either. It's a nice tool to have, this thing. That mobility does a lot for it. Can they kill a Seer Council model? I mean, they are dying, but they found some Chaos Space Marines kicking off in the mid. There's that Baneblade. I'm not sure where the Stormlord is right now. It's in the middle. Oh wow, Seer Council got very low. Very, very low. Double Plague Marines in trouble. Might need to run. They do indeed need to run. You need to try and split your anti-vehicle when you're dealing with the Baneblade because they have that Demolisher Cannon. There's a Stormlord with a Vulcan Mega Bolter on the front, dealing huge amounts of Inferno PvP anti-infantry damage. Can also reinforce off this thing and jump inside of it. It's pretty damn good. Going after the Baneblade pretty hard here though. Paladins on the field for Gardacus. There's a Blood Crusher in there too. All being buffed by We Are the Hammer. Well, not the Blood Crusher. I think they're going to get the Baneblade down here because those Paladins have a lot of fight left in them still. Baneblade goes down. In fact, have the Paladins lost any hit points even? Down goes the Manticore too. Both Manticores. Wow. What an attack. Blood Crusher still going. Level 3. I think it was teleported away by the Sorcerer. Paladins are only starting to take damage now. 5,400 hit points. with big old heavy melee Nemesis Demon Hammers, and there's Mind Blades on them from the Brother Captain to boost their damage output, and they are tearing that Stormlord apart. That's crazy. That's a huge amount of damage with the Mind Blades up, and now they're getting rear arm hits, and down it goes. Huge losses for the blue team. What a push there. Superbly effective by Gardacus with some help from Max. And I'm sure Golanski was doing some stuff too. Got some Chosen Plague Marines up, unique to the Plague Champion, these guys. Damage over time, power melee weapons. With passive damage to nearby enemies as well, just by being close to their stink. And there's that Plague Champion level 5. Fist versus fist. But a Plague Champion has backup. Another Nurgle Shrine is up. They're worshipping it to get some reinforcements. And Xrod with another Stormlord on the way. Not sure how great of an idea that is. I mean, all of that Inferno damage will help fantastically against the Paladins and stuff. They need to be very wary of those pushes though. With We Are the Hammer support and the Mind Blades. But the Captain did go down. Might be worth just getting Plasma Kassakin and Plasma Guardsmen up and stuff. Maybe Stormtroopers with the Assault Kit so you have the grenades to stop these pushes. Also, Inquisitor needs to get her control game going with Purgatus or Excruciators, crossbow bolt pistols, all that kind of stuff. Here's some Bullgrins with Use Your Shield. That's going to help out, suppressing all these guys. Now they've been silenced, but not before they got their Use Your Shield going. And they still have Catachans on 2 of those players. Avatar of Cain on the way for the Farseer. Kassakin on the way for Xrod. They still have Guardsmen to repair, so does Swagga. Swagga's floating huge amounts of resources here, actually. I wonder what their plan is. There's that Stormlord doing its thing. Lord Commissar barely alive. But they are alive. Level 9 on that guy. 263 to 144. Paladins coming out of base now fully healed up. And it's another Stormlord, this time for Swagga. So they're able to recover remarkably well here, the blue team, actually. Do they have gens on this? It's only a node. I guess their power hasn't been hit that much. I mean, there's a generator missing here. And I know max-ove took at least one swing at this power. But they're able to recover. Lots of free DPS on the Paladins there. It is taking shots though. That's a lot of damage they were able to get on those Paladins. Need to be careful, don't chase them in though. Catachans. I think they made it inside. Yeah, they barely made it inside the Stormlord. Here's that Blood Crusher back. How the heck is that thing still alive? Stormlord needs to back off. It really needs to back off. It's not doing it. It's not doing it. It's going to go down again. That's really sloppy from Xrod. Needed to get that thing moving. As soon as those Paladins backed away, needed to back up. Bullgrins being subjugated. And there's a rocket run. And a Hell Fury. Everything flying in there. 208 to 144. Chaos Predator on the way for Golanski. Xrod now going for Ogrins. Here's the Stormlord of Swagga. Maybe they can be a bit more careful with it. I mean, they certainly did push. Seer Council on the VP. Tank taking shots at them. No mark yet. Xrod down to just Kassakin. And they do have plasma guns in hand. Red team need to press disadvantage, I think, and go for their natural. It's not always easy to tell just how much damage you've done to your enemy, though, in a 3v3. Gonna see Mark of Pawn for this Predator tank. Another one on the way for Max. Level on these guys. Level 2 Chosen Plague Marines. They probably don't have much population left, Golanski. Yeah. Grapist getting some Wraith Guard. (202 to 131). Level 3 purifies for Gardacus. Lord Commissar trying to mix it up on the VP. Plague Champion though going for it. Pestilent Strike was up, I think. Here's that Blood Crusher. Avatar taking swings at it now. Can they finish it? They can. Farseer is still down there. And she could do a lot with time field and stuff in this kind of situation. Inquisitor going for the decat. They do now have Gardacus. That's going to be a big help when these big melee Ordo Malleus armies come sweeping through. Avatar pushing up now. Can soak up some damage for the Eldar. Marco Zinch and Markov Korn tanks. Avatar goes for the Heretics. Needs to come and help with this, I think. Big push again for Gardacus. What are they looking at now? They're going for the Seer Council. Avatar takes huge amounts of damage. It's gone too far in, I think. It's going to go down. Just got pulled into a fight. 1-to-1 cap here. I don't see anyone making moves on the natural VPs. Terminators on the way now for Gardacus. Swagga's got some Kassakin of their own. And we have more Bulgrins here from Xrod. Lord Commissar takes the mid. 2-to-1 for blue. 189, 123. Hadachins are going to wipe back there. There's use his shield again. Suppressing those chosen Plague Marines. One of the Bulgrins got away okay. But the Captain with Holy Armor of Titan. And the Bulwark. Can he put this on himself? I think so. Paladins are backing off. They didn't drop a model, but looks like they're backing off to the shrine to get some healing. Maybe they can get rid of that Blast Master. Looks like the Stormlord doesn't want to try and do it. Surprised the Lord Commissar was able to cap with that thing shooting. There's an Eldritch. Global nuke for the Eldar. Can it finish off the tank? It can. Good work there. Wraith Guard flee. I always say if your nuke can take out a tank, it's a good nuke. Xrod gets another Manticore, which could be an amazing play. They can take out that Noise Marine squad and get some hits on the shrine. Chaos Terminator is taking heavy damage and teleporting out. 172 to 104 on the VPs. 2-to-1 for red. Chaos Terminator's getting autocannon. More guardsmen on the way for Swagga to help support their vehicles. And there's a great unclean one for Max. Limon Russ is not upgraded yet. There's a Manticore strike. Don't think it hit too much. Where's the Inquisitor? She needs to use Gardacus over here. Lord Commissar went down. Big push in by Gardacus again. There is Gardacus stunning them all. And there's also a nuke, though, from Max. Use a shield going in as well. Won't suppress the Paladins or the Terminators. Can they get the Stormlord down here? And there's Mind Blades on the Paladins again. That's such a nasty combo. Teleporting super heavy infantry with heavy melee weapons that you can then put Mind Blades on. Vehicles don't really have a hope against that. Unless you have some really good control abilities. Great Unclean One on the way for Max. Gonna hit the field. There it is. Xrod with the Lehman Russ on the way. Blue team maybe got broken there. That might have broke them. Yeah, they may be pretty screwed. Can red team push on and get a triple cap maybe? I don't know if the Stormlord would have survived if it just had it moving back immediately at full speed, because those teleporting paladins with mind blades, it's very hard to defend against. See a council get a decap. That's pretty good. Farseer is still down though. She's been down for a while, and her time field would have really helped out, slowing down that stuff. And she could get Gravity Blade as well. That would have really helped. She's been down for a bunch of time here. Two to one still. They did not get onto the VP, the natural one. Trying to stabilize on the mid. Him and Russ taking some pot shots at the Great Unclean One there. Take champion level 7. Taking completely free shots here. Might go down. Does go down. Sloppy from KGolanski. Trying to micro their Chaos Terminators, I think. In the north. Strat squad run away. Great Unclean One has a moment. We are going to get a quick revive. Level 10 Sorcerer here. Take champion level 7. Brother Captain level 8. Heroes have been pretty damn effective in this game. Level 10 Commissar. Level 6 Inquisitor now going for the Inferno Pistol. I think you should get the Crossbow Bolt Pistol. You could lock down a bunch of this stuff with it. I think that was the play. 96 to 104. See a council going for the Great Unclean One. This guy passively damages nearby enemies and is nasty combatant too. With some abilities like that foul snare. Rocket run. Did it wipe out? I think that rocket run wiped out the Seer Council, which I don't think was intended. 81 to 104. Chaos Predator falls. That is judgment, I think, on the Great Unclean One. But the Inquisitor's down anyway. In fact, all 3 blue heroes down. Their armies are gone, basically. It's red team's game now. Gonna need like several very, very good nukes and a small miracle to turn this around. Paladins made a difference. They just demolished every vehicle in front of them. And they had the tools. They had the tools to deal with them. An Inquisitor and a Farseer together is huge amounts of control abilities and disruption. But we didn't see him. I think they could have even stopped those teleporting paladins if they were both together doing their thing. Maybe. Maybe once they've teleported it's too late. There's that incineration. And these guys also have their Psy Cannon. Just pushing in on base now, the red team, nuking it. That's Gardacus and an orbital bombardment. 32 to 104. Yeah, Inquisitor went for her Inferno Pistol, which is a lot of DPS, but you need the control. She could have gone Crossbow Bolt Pistol, crippling shot into a Purgatus. Then there could have been a time field and a levitation field. Canticle Absolution going off. I don't think I noticed it before in the fights, but they're sure using it now. They're just going off the base now. These guys capping the mid. Something must have decapped it. No idea what. There's no other units on the field. And there is the concede from the blue team. I mean, they kept on trying, that's for sure. Had a level 10 Commissar, level 6 Inquisitor, level 2 Farseer. She was down for so long. Level 10 Brother Captain, level 7 Plague Champion, and a level 10 Sorcerer. Chaos getting it done. With some help from their unlikely allies. A hell of a lot of help as well. There you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.